Well, greetings, people of the internet. Unky Joe here, Unky Joe's Playhouse. Today, it's back from the dead. So, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Unraid. As you know, I'm a big fan. Well, maybe you don't know. I'm a big fan of Unraid. I've done several videos on it over the years, and I want to be clear on something. It is a permanent part of my networking infrastructure or my lab infrastructure. So let's just be clear about that, because there's been some questions over in the past about how committed I am to Unraid. I'm very committed to Unraid for some tasks, specific tasks that I have in mind. And so that's what I'm going to discuss today. That, and a generous subscriber reached out to me and offered me a Ryzen 7 1700X processor. And of course, now I'm not at liberty to disclose who that was because I haven't received that subscriber's permission. But suffice it to say, it got my mind going, got the wheels turning. I said, wow, where could I use this Ryzen 7 1700? Because I've got Ryzen 5 2600s and a Ryzen 5 3600, and I was like, wow, I just really don't need another Ryzen processor in my stable, so to speak. And then I got to thinking about that Gigabyte Aorus B450 Aorus M motherboard I have that I've tinkered with running Unraid on, and that's when it came to me. You know, you got 6 cores, 12 threads versus 4 cores, 8 threads, and I thought, well, that would make a great processor to put into that Gigabyte motherboard. So I started doing the research and doing a little work in research into it, and figured out it would work. So there's the unit behind me on the bench. It's the Black Tower in the thermaltake case, and let's go see what I did with that unit. So I wasn't clear whether the fan from the Ryzen 5 2600 would work on the Ryzen 7 1700X. And since now I've got everything up and running, I'll bring you over to the Unraid screen and show you what how I've ended up configuring this unit and what task it is that I'm going to assign to this unit moving forward, so that you understand my mindset behind it. All right, so here we are over on my Unraid server. It is Unraid server 6.9.2, and of course I've called it Whopper. And for those of you that are children of the mid-70s and early 80s, you'll understand what that refers to. And for those of you that weren't born during that period, it'll probably mean nothing to you. But yeah, shall we play a game? So here we go. So we got our Unraid server. The motherboard right now is running at 102 degrees Fahrenheit, and the processor, as you can see, is running at 141. That's a little concerning. So I'm going to pull the covers back off, and I'm going to I have a little infrared thermometer and verify that that's not the case. And you see also my SSD is running at 124 degrees Fahrenheit. So those temperatures are a little warm. So I want to see what I can do about cooling this machine a little bit more, because, you know, it's going to be put through its paces. So it is a Gigabyte B450M DS3H version 2. And I am running version F62 on the BIOS. Now, I tried to install Unraid and was having all kinds of problems. And this has been my issue with Unraid with AMD. And I don't blame Unraid. Let's be clear on that. I blame the people that make the BIOS for AMD, because I don't think they still have gotten their acts completely together. And if the BIOS is not just 100%, Unraid's going to find the problem, and you're going to have errors. So I was having a problem where Unraid was locking up after about 3 or 4 hours of use. In fact, I could never get parity generated on the drives because it kept locking up, and it would hard lock. It would stop responding to pings. There was nothing on the display, nothing, but the machine just humming along, but it wouldn't respond or do any commands or anything. So I went ahead and upgraded to the F62 of the BIOS, and now, as you can see, the machine's been up and running. Let's see, how long has it been up and running? Where does it tell us? 22 hours and 56 minutes, and it did manage to get parity done on the drives. I've got 4 2-terabyte Seagate drives in here. But the F62 of the BIOS seems to have cured the problem, so we can now move on from there. Now, I've gone around and I've been experimenting with some stuff. So what is this machine going to be used for? Well, this machine right now is specifically going to be used as a substitute for Handbrake. So most of my video collection is either in H.264, or I've done native rips from Blu-rays into MKV files. And a lot of those formats, as you know, are AVC or whatnot. So what I want to do, I want to convert my entire video collection, including my TV shows, over to H.265. So in order to do that, I have to have a video card that is capable of transcoding or converting those videos and doing it rather quickly. And so that's what this Unraid machine is going to be relegated to. So I've got a couple of programs on there. I'm not going to go into these programs. I mean, I am going to show you a little bit on the programs, but I'm not going to go over how to set them up. I will point to a video I followed to get them set up. And the software I'm running can run on Windows or Linux, and even OS X, I believe, and it's called TDAR. And so there's a TDAR server and a TDAR node. You need them both. Pay no attention to the Nginx proxy manager. That's going to be in another video. So basically what I've done is I have created some shares on here. So let's go to my shares, and you will see that I've created one called Media. And in that media share, let me come up here. I can view it here. In that media share, I've got a converted folder and a pre-convert. So what I do is any video that I want to convert to H.265, I simply drag it from my media folder, and I'll show you that here in a minute. I drag it over to this pre-convert folder on Unraid, and then the TDAR program is out there monitoring that folder, and when it sees a new file, it begins to process it. So I've already copied a file over here, and this is the TDAR interface, and it's kind of, again, I'm not going to do a deep dive into TDAR. I may at a later time, but I just want to show you what I'm using this Unraid server for. So basically, TDAR is out there, and it's monitoring that folder, that pre-encode folder. So what it'll do is it'll encode the video with settings I have, which is, the H.265 settings. And then once it's done converting the video, then it'll copy it over to the new folder and then delete the original file that was there. So it's an automated process. TDAR makes it very simple to do. I can do multiple files at a time. Right now it's only doing one. The other thing I've done is I have put I'm using an NVIDIA GTX 950 because that's what I had laying around. So if I go here under settings and come down to, I've loaded the NVIDIA driver, and you see I have a GTX 950 with a production driver. And then I've loaded another little program that monitors the GPU. It shouldn't be down there. It should be up here. That monitors the GPU, and as you can see, it tells me the temperature of the unit, how many processes, the load on the GPU, the encoder, decoder, GPU memory, fan, power, PCI bus statistics, etc. So, and that's how I monitor the NVIDIA video card and whether it's, it's encoding those video files. So I just, kind of let TDAR run in the background. So basically that's what this Unraid machine is doing. That's what it's delegated to do. And I will be doing other things on Unraid. I will be delegating some other tasks to it. But this is now going to be a permanent addition. It'll be a server that it may not be up and running all the time, but it'll be one that is used. I'll use it for overflow storage and for TDAR and any other tasks that I might want to put under Unraid. I really like the way Unraid does the Docker containers, and that's what TDAR is. It's just a couple of Docker containers. And I find Unraid is very handy for that. All right, so what I want to show you now is I want to go into File Explorer. And I have a media folder and I have my videos here. So right now I'm currently working, I was in Action Adventure, but I'm working on Animated as well. I wonder, do I have media info in here? No, I don't. I can go to Properties, but that really doesn't tell you much. So I use a program called Media Info. So let's get that loaded. And what Media Info does is it allows you to see how a video is encoded. Let's see, where's the most recent version? The one I have is 20.8, so let's run that. Now we're running Windows 11 on this machine. So we'll get to see if this works. Okay, that should have done it. Let's see, let's go to Media, let's go to Videos. Animated. Okay, so let's see here. Where's a video I haven't done yet? I've done Incredibles 2. Okay, so let's look for one that's 4 So here's Over the Hedge. So if I right-click on that now, I'm afraid I'm going to have to open File Explorer again. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? Wrong on that. I think I have to run Media Info one time. Let me see if I can find it there. There you go. Yeah, I believe you have to run it one time, and then it'll do its little association. No, I'm not going to do the newest version yet. Okay, good. Nothing like doing it live. So let's go back to videos again. Let's go back to animated. Let's come down to... Let's see. There's a 4 gig. There's Flushed Away. What did I say? Over the Hedge? There's Monsters University. Here we go. Over the Hedge. So if I right-click now... See, open with, where's Media Info? Wow. See, this is why I don't, oh, there we go. This is why I don't like the new Windows Explorer, File Explorer under Windows 11. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Media Info. So this tells me this video came directly out of Make MKV. So this video is in its native MPEG version 2 format. So this would be a prime candidate to convert to H.265. So this is how easy things are for me. Now, yeah, I know in Handbrake you can go in and you can create a queue and do it, but this is just like, this doesn't require any effort once you get it set up. So I'm verifying first that it is that it already hasn't been compressed. So it's MPEG video, and here's the audio and text streams for subtitles and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and open another window here, open in a new window. And I'm going to go back up here to Unraid Beast. No, sorry, Unraid Beast. Boom. And there it is. So under Unraid Beast, I have a media folder, and then I have the pre-convert, which is right there. So let's resize that window and put that there. And you can see there's no videos in pre-convert. So what I want to do next is I want to convert over the hedge, and I want to convert it to H.265. So right now it's about 4.1 gig in size. So I'm just going to drag and drop it and copy it over to pre-convert. We'll let that come over there. And then what we'll do is we'll go into TDAR. And so TDAR, I'm going to switch over to the GTX 950. So right now, TDAR doesn't see any files, but as that file copies over, you will see then a work process start up, and TDAR will start to process that file. The first thing it does is it looks at the file, analyzes it, and see if it needs to be converted. If it's already in HEVC, it won't convert it, etc. So still waiting, still waiting. Okay, and it looks like, let's go to stats, and we'll see those have been converted, and we'll come back, and there it is. So now you see it's processing over the hedge. It sees it as a 3.91 gig file. It is not converting it yet because we don't see the encoder or decoder going. But if we sit here and wait and see our temperature on our cache drive is warm again, we're going to look into that. We're going to look into maybe some better cooling solutions. And there we go. So here goes the encoder now. So it's started up. So if we come over here now, we'll see that it is transcoding over the hedge, and then it gives an ETA on when it will complete. And so let's go back over to Unraid. All right, so I'm going to let this run. Right now it's about 10:13. We'll see how long this takes. And just like that, 3 minutes later, and the transcode is completed. One thing that TDAR is not doing is keeping a list of successful transcodes. I got to figure that out. Again, this is not a video about TDAR or how to, how to configure it. So I obviously have some setting wrong, but my point is it took 3 minutes to transcode that video. So let's go look now. So first it was in pre-convert, and you notice now it is not in that folder anymore. So if we go back one and we go to converted, you'll see now that over the hedge is here, and it's saved quite a bit of space. So if we right click on it, show more options, and go to media info, you'll see now that it is definitely an HEVC file. You'll see the bandwidth, the size of the video, 16:9, the codec it used, the audio stream, it kept our subtitles, it kept everything, and it converted it over and saved us about probably 1/3 of the amount of the space it was using. And as you can see, I've done these other videos as well. They've all come over and been converted. For example, Dumbo was 15 gig in size because it was H.265 originally, but I further converted it down to HEVC. It was an AVC format. Now it's an HEVC, but it gave us quite a bit of savings for storage space. So I've never been a big fan of putting my videos through Handbrake. And it looks like the cache drive is returned to normal. You see I've got some heat issues in this machine. We'll get it resolved. One of the things I've never done is, well, I did in the beginning, was to run my videos through Handbrake. I just thought it was a huge waste of time because hard drive space is so cheap and ubiquitous. But now, you know, with prices all over the place, I'm starting to get low on space on one of my Synology NASs. So I'm coming back now, and even though I like Handbrake, and keep in mind, Tadar does use FFmpeg, and it does use Handbrake as part of its program, part of its core. So I'm still in essence using Handbrake. But it's just so much easier for me to just drag and drop a bunch of files over there that need to be re-encoded to save space than it is to set up a Handbrake queue. That's just the way I am. So that's one of the reasons I spun back up Unraid. You know, and so again, thanks to the wonderful people at Unraid, you make a great product. Thanks to that subscriber that sent me the Ryzen 1700X, because we put it now to good use. And, you know, basically, this Unraid server is going to be for my Docker containers for now. It'll grow and it'll change as time goes on, but it will be a permanent part of Unky Joe's Playhouse. So there you go. Yeah, it's up and running. We'll be building some other, we'll be doing some other videos on Unraid. I just got to find a place to put it now. I could put it down on the floor next to the Mac Pro. I don't know. But it's a powerful machine. It's got some cooling issues that we will resolve. But anyway, we hope you found the video entertaining and informative. Please give us a thumbs up down below if you liked the video. Leave your comments in the comments section. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And click that little notification bell to be notified of new videos when they come out. You don't want to miss a new video. You don't want to miss a video of mine, or you don't want to miss a new video of mine either. So anyway, please don't forget to come back and see us. Donate if you're so inclined. PayPal, Patreon, and the YouTube join function. And don't forget, we'll see all of you on the other side.